Okay, so now we're going to put it all together. So now we could have a function something like this. And we're going to say that b is greater than 1. Okay, so a, the absolute value of a, that's going to be if the absolute value of a is greater than 1, then it's going to be a stretch. And if the absolute value of a is less than 1, it's going to be a compression. If a is less than 0, meaning if a is negative, then it's going to reflect about the x-axis. Okay. Now, let's look at C. C is going to tell you that it shifts C units left. Okay. Yeah. And D tells you it shifts D units. Well, maybe I shouldn't say left. Maybe I should, because maybe C is negative. But so it shifts horizontally. I'll say that. So it might be right, it might be left. And D shifts it vertically. Okay, so I think that's enough. If the x has a -1 in front of it, then it's gonna, so if x is negative, I don't know how to say that. If x has a -1, whoops, a -1 coefficient, it reflects about the y-axis. Okay, so there you go. All right, so this problem is kind of a fun problem. I could see me putting this one on an exam. So it says, write the equation for the function described below. Give the horizontal, need to fix that tickle, asymptote, domain, and range. Okay, so here's the parent function. F of x equals e to the x. And now we want a stretch factor of 2. That means a is going to equal 2. Or at least the absolute value. Maybe there might be a reflection. It's reflected across the y-axis. Now I just went over that, but that means then I need x to be negative x, okay? And then it's shifted up 4 units. That's going to be our d. So, and that's going to be +4. Okay, it doesn't say anything about a horizontal shift. So if you go back to your function, we just had a minute ago. Okay, we're going to be able to come up then with this function. They didn't give it a name, but let's just call it g of x. And so we're going to put a 2 in front. It's going to be e. It's going to be to the -x. And now be careful how you write this. It's going to be +4 because you need that to be the d, not the c. So don't get it in the wrong place. You have to make sure you write that clearly. Okay? And that would be then the equation for the function. They want us to give the asymptote. There is a vertical shift. That means the asymptote gets shifted. So it's going to be y equals 4. So the whole thing's shifting up 4 units. The domain, well, all our domains were all real numbers. And that's still the case here. And then the range. The range is going to be a little bit different because we had that shift. So it's going to go from 4 to infinity. It's reflecting about the y-axis. So you could kind of think about it being something like this. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but that asymptote's at 4, and then it's going to look something like that. It's going to have a stretch factor in it, though. But that would help you know the domain and the range maybe a little bit. Okay.